All right, are we back?
Yep.
We're back, baby. That was the oddest finger motion I've ever seen in my adult life.
This thing.
It's not staying there?
No.
No? Oh, we gotta pull it like on the bottom. It's okay. It's all right.
All right.
Technical difficulty. Boy, is this a professional setup on the American.
That's what you get when it's a fan podcast. So it's like,
It's a fan with Morgan instead of Nick. When you put a woman in a podcast, it's all messed up. That's why you need two
Ladies
fans.
and gentlemen, we have derailed 1 minute into a freaking segment, and it has left.
the misogyny has come
and
out.
just completely come off the tracks. Wowzers. That was a little nuts, I gotta say. I don't even know what to say about that. Alrighty, let's
Lower your mic. Thank you.
what kind of finger motion was
That doesn't look right.
I looked like this.
What is going on here?
I didn't want to touch
This
it
is
like
just a
last
train
time because
wreck.
it was a train wreck.
Alright.
Anyway,
Let's jump into it.
I should just
I'll
make this
set
a
every-
short for the ad for the.
No, this is magic. This is always magic.
Shopsumi.com, everybody.
Our unpaid official sponsor. Guys.
You know what's crazy, ladies and gentlemen, is that literally 2.5 minutes ago, this individual to my left, her on the right on the screen, she was literally crying about how much pain she was in as soon as he hit that red button. It was like somebody plugged her into the wall at 120 megahertz.
Let's just
and
say
she just livened up, and it's like the pain went away. What happened?
I was a theater kid, so I had to learn to control the pain and hide it. Be
Yeah.
happy when I had to be happy, laugh when I had to laugh, cry when I had to cry. So I had to learn to do stuff on demand and hide all my feelings.
And I'll tell the audience, you were a little sore because you and Nick had a nice night out.
Yes.
You went to listen to a band, did some dancing.
Ice Cherry, you
Yes,
guys rock.
Ice Cherry Experience.
And
They play actually a place right by your place in Cam's Corner, PJ McIntyre.
oh, they play at PJ's?
Yeah, they play at
Oh,
PJ's
you gotta
a lot.
tell me when they go. I love PJ's.
Yeah, we're gonna have to take you next time. But
Yeah, I'll go
it's
watch
really
it.
good.
But I wanted you to tell the audience, like, you were dancing, and what did you do? You dropped it.
I dropped it like it's hot, a little too low.
She got a little out of control. That's the gist of that
Let's
story.
just say.
All right, 3 minutes in, let's set up the next segment.
Okay, so this was
Alrighty.
actually my idea a few days ago.
Yes, we're going to talk about our favorite, and I love this topic because I had to think about it, and it brought back a lot of good memories.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a good topic will do. It'll stir up a lot of creative and good memories. Our favorite childhood, there's the key, childhood TV shows, childhood movies, like what we loved as a child, as opposed to what we've already done in the past, which is talk about what we love as an adult. So they are different for me. So childhood, I'll just jump in because we got to do that for time.
Now, can you I would like you to explain like what age you were when you watched.
Yeah.
Because I have a couple shows like from when I was like maybe 4 or 5, and then one when I was like a preteen teenager.
I agree.
So
I
have a couple.
But I just compared them, and I just went with one for time's sake.
That makes sense.
So
mine are quick. So
I'm an early 90s kid. That's when I was in that wheelhouse before you become a teenager. 9, 10 years old is when this show first started to air, 1989. You guys are going to know it as soon as I say it. Saved by the Bell. I loved that show as a kid.
Speaking of, have you ever seen Zach Morris is Trash on YouTube?
No.
Yes. And even,
how dare they talk about Zach?
No,
I like Zach.
No. Even if you look it up, Mark Paul Glossner even said, yeah, Zach Morris was a piece of trash.
Really?
Yes, he agrees. He said he was a piece of trash to all the girls he was with, to his friends, to everybody around him.
Wow.
So, and it even says like
I
this
thought
is
he
what
was
did.
funny.
I thought so too, and I wasn't a big fan of the show, but when I saw those, I'm like, oh my gosh, he is. And like a couple weeks ago, I saw a little clip, and then he's like, oh yeah, I hated Zach Morris. He's like, that was the worst thing I
Who's
ever.
your favorite character in Saved by the Bell? Since you're familiar with the show.
Screech.
Screech was great.
Rest in peace, Dustin Diamond.
I was a big fan of AC Slater. I liked AC. Mario Lopez.
Oh my gosh.
Who's
I have
all
to tell
over
you.
the place now. If you stay at any hotel, anywhere, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's a motel or if it's the Hilton, on screen for like their on demand, like he is the host constantly. It's on a loop where he lets you choose or whatever. He is the most wealthy out of all the Saved by the Bell cast members. I don't know. I just always thought he was cool. I liked his character.
I actually have a fun story about Mario
About
Lopez.
AC or about Mario Lopez.
Yeah. So one day, because you know Alyssa, she works at GNC.
Yeah. She's been in the background a couple times.
And
She'll never go on camera.
No, she won't. And she said her coworker messaged her saying, "Guess who's in the store?"
What?
Mario Lopez was in their store when she was off.
Mario Lopez was in a GNC?
Yeah, I don't know which one. I don't know which one she was talking about. I don't know if it was
that
the
would
one.
have been a lot of fun.
I don't know if it was the one she was.
Too bad he didn't stop into any of the stores I was at. That would have been fun.
Yeah, but I thought that was funny. And fun fact, he was also supposed to be the host of Price is Right.
Yes.
It was him and Drew Carey.
Drew Carey, but they went with Drew.
I think Mario Lopez would have been great.
I think
it would have been fun.
I think that's a show where if you just have any type of personality, you could be the host.
Yeah.
You know, if you have that like humor where you're a give and take, you got good banter.
Yeah.
You know, I think I could rock out The Price is Right. Let's be honest. But anyways, Saved by the Bell. That was my my best childhood TV show. Let's go to you. Jump in and tell me.
Mine was actually on PBS.
PBS was great.
Wishbone.
I've heard of that. I am not familiar with that show at all.
It's a dog that
Are
was
you? Are you familiar with that show?
Which show?
Wishbone.
Wishbone?
I honestly never heard of it.
It's about a dog that was a detective.
Really? That actually sounds like my kind of show.
Yeah, it was. I remember. I used to watch
Just
that
wait
every
until you get
night.
to my childhood.
My mom would always put that on, and then my other favorite show was on that I really liked. It was called Zoom, but I liked Wishbone a lot better.
Oh my god.
So.
No, I never saw the show. I did
Oh,
hear
yeah.
of it. I'm aware of it, but
Yeah,
I never heard of it.
if you look up Wishbone, it's just a dog with like a detective's hat on. It's so cute.
Well, let's me and you do movies real quick, and then we'll let Nick have a solid 8-9 minutes at the end
Oh,
where
and
he
then
can
I had
do
a
his
second show
he
real
can
quick.
just run with it. He can do his show and movie. That's just to save the back
Yeah.
and forth.
Yeah.
Like I know your body's a little, it's hurting today, so
Yeah.
we'll just keep you in one position for about 5 more minutes. Movie for me, 1988. I'm roughly 8 years old. It was the last movie I saw at Mayland Movie. These are for all the East Side, Cleveland East Side peeps that grew up on the East Side of Cleveland. Cleveland kind of split down the middle. They always ask you, are you from the West Side? Are you from the East Side?
Mm-hmm.
I grew up on the East Side. Now I live in the West Side. But East Side, there was a huge movie theater on Mayfield Road. It was called Mayland Theater. This was the last movie I saw, 1988. Like I say, I was roughly about 8 years old. I saw the movie Big with Tom Hanks. Love
I
that
like that.
movie.
Love that movie.
Tells the story of a boy named Josh who goes to like this fortune teller game machine, and then he wishes he was big, and then he becomes Tom Hanks, and then he has to find the machine, and he has to go back to being a kid again. It's a great story, directed by Penny Marshall. That's what made Penny Marshall like a landmark director.
Oh, I love Penny Marshall.
Yeah, I thought the movie was awesome. It's the Mayland Movie Theater. It's such a big deal because they closed the theater several months after they had big there at the beginning of 1989, they closed the theater and it was no more. So I was glad I got to see one more movie theater in that theater. I saw it with my friend Jay Johnson. I remember we walked and it took like 15 minutes to walk. Because obviously we're kids. And that's back in the day when kids could walk like God knows how long. You were outside all day.
Right.
You didn't worry about like being abducted. You just walked around the freaking neighborhood like all day. We walked up to the thing. Jay, unfortunately, he's no longer with us. He was an awesome kid. He was an awesome friend back in the day. But we walked up, handed the money, and watched Big. I'll never forget that memory because it was with Jay. It was such a good memory, and it wasn't too much. Yeah, it was about 10 years later that Jay decided he didn't want to be here anymore. So
was that the
great kid though?
Was that the guy you told me that passed away when you and I had met for the first time?
That
or
is
that
not. No,
it's completely different.
Completely different.
And when you say he
individual.
decided he,
Yes, yeah.
damn.
And we were talking about that earlier in terms of suicidal like rates and whatever.
Yeah. Yes.
We'll leave it at that. But I mean, great memory. The only other movie I ever saw at Mayland Movie Theater was 1985 was Back to the Future, the original, the first one.
So that movie theater, you only watched 2 movies of?
Only had 2 movies. It was an awesome movie theater, but they tore it down and they made like a mini outdoor mall.
That's the exact same thing that happened with me. It was a theater that I miss, and I only went to see 2 movies there. But I gotta tell you, I have special memories from that place. Was the Detroit Theater in Lakewood, Ohio?
Yes. Yeah.
I watched 2 movies there. One of them, you think Nick went to see one of these in theaters, but I'll get into that when I.
Yeah. All right. Mort, that was my was my movie. What was yours?
I actually had to change mine.
Which is?
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Did you change it to that?
Movie.
Did you change it to that, or
I
was
changed
it
it to that when he said Big because the kid that was in Big was also in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Correct. Yeah.
And
Okay.
that made me think, I actually was obsessed with that movie.
That movie was awesome.
I was watching it nonstop, and then I think Christmas when I was 12 or 13, my mom dug deep and found the DVD of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids because I was asking it for years on VHS and or DVD, and she had to dig deep. She found one online for $3 or $4 on eBay.
Oh my God.
So, and I still have it to this day.
That was Rick Moranis. I think Rick Moranis was
Rick
the actor.
Moranis was
he was
in
in
it.
Ghostbusters. He was the dad, right?
Yes.
It was a great movie. That was a fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
You talking about it now just made me realize
and I
how
think
much I like that
only
movie.
one or two of the actors in it are still acting. Everybody else is not acting.
Really?
It's the Matt, the one that played the neighbor. I forget his.
I know who you're talking about.
Russ, the one that played Russ.
Correct.
And then the one that played his son, little Russ.
Really?
Yeah, everybody else quit.
Is Rick Moranis
he quit to take care of his kids because his wife died of cancer.
I did not
And
know that.
he's
Did you know
supposed
that?
I only know because
actually,
she told me when she showed me Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
He's supposed to be coming back for Spaceballs 2, apparently.
Oh my God, that would be a great sequel.
I haven't seen the first one.
Neither have I.
It's hilarious. It's an old school movie. If they remade that and did a part 2, that's got to be 40 years later. That came out in the 80s. Mm-hmm. Spaceballs. That had John Candy. John Candy's been gone for a long time. Anyways, wow, that's a great one. I'm glad you brought that up because, man, I forgot about that movie.
Well, right when you said Big, I'm like, oh my God, Jared, I remember.
I remember at the time when they had the insects, it was really for the level of technology at that time. It was so real looking, when they because they were tiny.
I know. I still cry when Auntie dies. Spoiler alert.
She did.
I will still cry to this day.
Well, because we have time consideration.
Yeah, we got to give
this.
this
It's a good thing
to
you
Nick.
only have to get up once. We can let Nick close down the ship here and give his favorite TV show as a childhood TV show, and as a movie. when he was a kid. So, Nick, jump right into it.
So when we're talking about childhood movies, are we talking a particular age range? Because everyone has say, "Oh, from my childhood," but they'll be like 12 years
I
old.
would
or
say
something
like,
like
but
that.
That's still childhood.
I would
you
say
just
like
pick one.
between like the age like maybe like Leon's age to like age 12 or 13.
Yeah.
So I think when I hear childhood, I kind of think this is just my opinion. That's just my rules and doesn't have to apply to anyone else. So when I make a childhood film, I'm gonna look at like I had to be like 5, 6, 7 years old or something at that point. Because if I were to say like go over like 10 or over or something, it'd be an easy one, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, which is Star Wars Episode 3.
Right.
But I'm not gonna go there because it literally came out when I was 10 years old, and while I watched it a lot in my preteens, there's another movie that comes to mind when it comes to favorite TV show, favorite favorite movies and such.
Yeah.
So my favorite childhood movie of all time is The Incredibles, the Pixar film about superheroes. That's my all-time favorite childhood movie.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think that movie is, and I think it's aged so well. The animation is still great as always.
Yeah.
The writing is phenomenal. The humor is terrific. And the action is so cool. I think it is, and I watched that and I think back to when I was a kid when I
When
watched
did
it.
that movie come out?
Goodness, it was, hold on.
Here I'm
Wasn't it
searching right
2000 oh god, this is hard now. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I can't remember. Wasn't it 2003 or 4 or something like that? 2004.
Okay.
And then the sequel, another one of my favorites, came out in 2018. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I waited 14 years for that movie because it did end on a small cliffhanger. Not like, oh my god, the main villain has escaped. The main villain was defeated, and then there was another one that came up, and the movie ends. Spoiler alert! As if nobody knows what the ending to Incredibles at this point is, but it ends with the family after Dash's race, his track race. The Underminer comes up and starts, wanting to terrorize the city and whatever, and it just ends with the family dressing into their outfits.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I hope to see what happens next. And the sequel didn't come out for 14 years. Imagine. So, 2004, I'm 9 years old. I'm like, when's this sequel going to come out? And the closest thing we had to a sequel was the Incredibles game, Rise of the Underminer. And that's not canon anymore because of the second Incredibles movie that came out. So it's like, but yeah, so that's my favorite childhood movie of all time. And then TV show, I like to add an extra... Guys, what are you doing?
Listen to the background.
Ignore it. I'm trying to talk to you guys.
I'm sorry.
We're listening.
We're listening.
We're listening.
God, miss attention deficit. Hey, donuts. Like, oh my God.
It's great.
He's the one that keeps looking.
But you derail every time I speak. Like, what the hell?
Wow, that's your fault.
Yeah, it is my fault.
No, I'm just kidding. It's nobody's fault.
Oh
Come
my
on,
goodness.
what were you talking
Yes.
about?
Yeah, what's
Gee,
your-
I
what's your-
lost my train of thought.
Well, yeah.
Your favorite
derail-
childhood TV show.
Yeah, and
That
I
you
was
were
going
going
to say,
to
I'm
say.
going to add something else to this because I have a favorite cartoon and a favorite TV show because there is a TV show that I did watch.
Well, you're only allowed to say one since I only got to say one.
Well,
I'm
fine,
kidding.
whatever.
I'm kidding. I don't care.
Okay, cool. Favorite cartoon of all time, and it's still one of my favorite. It's still one of my top 5 cartoons, and it could even be TV shows of all time. Is Batman the Animated Series from 1992. That cartoon has aged so well. The way they tell adult stories to children, and even the animation for the time. I showed Morgan recently, and even she said, "Yeah, the animation looks pretty cool." I should show you sometime, Fletcher, if you haven't come across it. And an actual TV show, the only TV show I can think of that's not anime, because I watched a lot of like good cartoons when I was young. I think the closest thing to a childhood show that I watched growing up, and I know these guys had like adult shows and everything. And then there's me, who's gonna have like the most childish sitcom possible. and yes, this is when I was 10 years old, was The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, actually. Not because I was a Disney Channel fanatic or anything, but just because Cartoon Network was just hence the name, all cartoons, and that was the channel I was exposed to most of the time. And I didn't grow up in Nickelodeon, and even most of that was cartoons, unless it was like late at night where like the Lopez show, whatever that was, the George Lopez show or something like that.
Just George Lopez.
Just George Lopez, yeah, that one. So the closest thing I was to being exposed to live action TV shows was Disney Channel. That's when they had like Hannah Montana, Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, That's So Raven, and stuff like that. So I was really into Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, and I think it's honestly a really good show. So that was my favorite childhood show. But and then in reference to your movie theater story, where you only saw 2 movies at that one theater, I only saw 2 movies at the Detroit theater, and I campaigned for that theater to stay there. But no, they took it down. They replaced it with McDonald's. One of the biggest crimes that Ohio ever committed. Actually, the U.S. has ever committed. And the 2 movies, I know one of them are going to be like...
It's too bad. They tore it down for a Mickey D's.
I don't think the purpose of it was to put a McDonald's there, but when they found out it was being taken down, they're like, "Oh, we'll just put a McDonald's there." Either way, I think it's kind of crappy, honestly.
It's still a McDonald's now.
It is still a McDonald's. Yeah, it is still there right now.
Yeah, that's what.
And this was back in like 2008 or 9 when it was taken down. And I was upset.
That's like the one that was right by my house.
In Lakewood?
No, in Rocky River.
Oh, but it was close.
It was on Detroit Road, and then they closed it down, and they like built like a bar or something.
Wow,
that's too bad.
It was supposed to be a strip club, but then they said no, because it has to be family friendly. So they put a bar and grill.
At least they did that. But the 2 movies I saw at the Detroit theater were, one, I'm proud of watching this. It's a great movie. One of my favorite comedies of all time, I think it's even top 5 comedies, is the Get Smart movie with Steve Carell, Anne Hathaway, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I love that movie. It's got good action. I didn't expect it to have good action, but it's so funny. I think that's Steve Carell's best movie of all time, in my opinion. I know everyone's going to say that the 40-Year-Old Virgin is their favorite. I haven't watched that. I have no interest. I think that movie
Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day is my favorite Steve Carell movie.
Wow, that's a long one, but I've never heard of that. But
yes,
that's
you have. I've shown you it. His arms catch on fire at the hibachi, and he dunks them in the tank.
Oh, yeah, and then their car is all total. Sorry,
yes.
I'm not used to a lot of names. And then the second movie at the theater, and you both are going to be like, what?
What?
And that's because my buddy and his mom actually treated me to this. I think it's the one movie in this franchise that was actually good, in quotes, was actually Twilight Eclipse, the 3rd Twilight movie.
Oh, we were just talking about that the other night.
I know. And it was cool.
I forget why we were.
Because I think we were talking about how...
Oh, no, we were watching The Middle, and she went to go see Eclipse.
They wanted to watch Eclipse, I think, at home or something like that, wasn't it?
Sue and Mike were going to watch it. They were going to have a daddy-daughter.
Yes, so then I brought up the fact that I saw that at the Detroit theater when it was still over there, so... Man, rest in peace, Detroit theater. I still miss it to this day, but who knows if it stayed longer? Who knows if it would have just turned out like all these mainstream movie theaters anyways. Some things are just meant to end. You know what they say? It's like the great, Harvey Dent, now Two-Face. It's like he said in The Dark Knight, you either die a hero, you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. So that's just the way it is.
That's very fitting. Well, that was a fun little segment.
It
right
was.
Or wrong. That was fun. Again, that's another good idea by Morgan.
Yeah, and then I had another show like when I was a preteen.
What's up?
Black Hole High.
Black Hole High.
Mm-hmm.
I think
it's because it's a Canadian show, and it was like on with like Goosebumps and all that. So it's pretty much about a high school that literally has a black hole in it, and something mysterious happens like every single day.
I think another, if I were to go, you said between the ages, like Leon's age to 12
like
years
12,
old.
yeah, before you're a teenager, but like you start school.
I think the closest thing, it's more of an honorable mention than anything, because I think I was like 12 or 13 when I started watching this. But another live action show that I was really into, and I don't know if you guys ever heard about this, was if you guys ever heard of it, please tell me what you thought of it and how it was for you. Bird Notice. That is still one of my favorite shows of all time. And
that's one of Mom's favorite shows.
It was?
Sorry, Alyssa's mom. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
That's why I said mom. I would have said my mom. So.
Gotcha.
Right, gotcha. But great show. Check it out. All the seasons are on. I think it's what is that? I think it was Hulu or something that has all the seasons, unless they change that like every week at this point. Anytime she and I want to watch a movie, they'll say, "Oh, it's not streaming anywhere." Then the next week will be on Prime.
Yeah, I was so mad they took off Blossom. I was gonna rewatch that.
That was a great show.
I wanted to rewatch. You know, it's a guilty pleasure of mine actually in regards to movie watching. Is I don't know what it is. I just kind of like how you rewatch Sherlock Holmes. I can do this with this movie. Is actually the 2010 Death at the Funeral movie with Chris Rock, Martin Lawrence, and Danny Glover. I actually really like that movie. And I was gonna rewatch that because it was on Peacock, and I did rewatch it. But then I wanted to watch it again. I think I was at home. Taking that day to myself or something, and it wasn't on anywhere. I'm like, what the hell, man? I wanted to rewatch it. This is why, Fletch, we've discussed previously, why I like owning my media, because it's right there whenever I want to watch it. It's funny they say, oh, I love Netflix because I can watch whatever I want.
No, you can't.
Yeah, until it's taken off. Like
we haven't seen the second Happy Gilmore. They had Happy Gilmore on Netflix, and then the day we were going to watch it, they took it off. And then a week later, they put it back on.
Wasn't it? It was there, and then a week later, it was taken off when we were going to watch it, and then they brought it back after I bought the DVD.
Right after we watched the movie, it was back on the day after.
Gotta love how things work out, right? So.
Well, that was a nice little ride. I mean, unless you want me, do you want me to contribute one more?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, we talked too damn much.
Well,
it's your turn.
I don't know when to shut the hell up, please.
Well, no, I was.
Me too. I'm a woman. I don't know what your excuse is.
As a kid, I started to watch.
Damn.
I started to watch pornography as a kid, so I didn't know if you wanted me to add that.
Yeah, let's end it there.
It was a great porn. I found it in my friend's.
Bro, do you really want to tell the audience that the host of the American Fan podcast is childhood show?
No, it wasn't a fake, but it was one of the first porns I ever saw. It was called Plum and Dumber. It was a little spoof on Dumb and Dumber. The lead actor's name was Jim Harry. He was a hairy guy. It was hilarious.
My God.
I think they had another character named Wesley Pipes. It's a story for another day. It was hilarious.
I can't process this information that you just gave me. What is going on?
We came from growing up in my neighborhood. If you find a pornographic VHS tape, you put it in the VCR.
I did not see this coming.
You see what's going on with it. Hey, I didn't elaborate. I didn't say, whatever happened. But
I think the audience can put you what you thought.
It was a great time. I watched it with my.
I'm sure it was a good time, and I don't want to know.
It was a great time because it was hilarious.
No, you know what this reminds me of?
It's why I find pornography like amusing sometimes. If you ever see it, it's like some of the acting is atrocious.
Oh, it is. It really is.
It makes it funny.
I say to someone, by the way, a fun fact about me is I wasn't one of those people that had 27 tabs on pornography. I literally told people that. I got called a liberal one time just because I said.
Why?
Because I said that I didn't believe in pornography and I didn't have tabs saved. I literally got called a liberal for that.
Oh, please.
Well, that's what happens when you're an extreme right winger. When you go against the one thing, they just say, "Oh, you're a libby." Just like when you said that, when you mentioned COVID, there was one conservative that I met at Home Depot, and he was like, "Oh, you mean fake of it?" I'm like, "Oh, COVID's fake?" Like, give me a break.
So stupid.
Stupid.
Novid.
Novid, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Well, that's going to conclude this segment. So,
great little segment. We will see you next week.
Yes, we will.
We don't know what we'll do. Maybe a little Tylenol. Maybe some more movie discussion. We haven't done a movie review. We'll figure it out over the next couple of weeks. I'm sure there's going to be lots in the world that happens. So we will see you next Sunday.
Well, I think the movie you said you and her wanted to see, and I'm like, I'm
don't think it's out
open.
yet.
I'm open to this idea. I just don't know much about it. Which was that new Leonardo DiCaprio movie you wanted to see?
with Benicio. Yeah,
So,
Del Toro.
but yeah, so if
Yeah,
we see
we'll
that,
figure it
stay
all
tuned.
out. Yeah,
So,
we'll figure it all out.
all right,
See you guys
well,
next week.
See you next week. Take it easy, guys.